Hey everybody, welcome or welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at this awesome surprise package that Pen Heaven sent to me. So let's have a look at it and see what we got. I also just wanted to quickly mention that Pen Heaven sent me this stuff to take a look at, but they did not sponsor this video or anything like that, and all the opinions are my own. Thank you. Okay, what's in here? Oh my gosh, it's a TWSBI. Oh my gosh, and some inks and a little pen case. Thank you, Pen Heaven. This is so exciting. I wonder what TWSBI this is. Let's clear this away and we'll have a look. So it comes with a little card in here, Pen Heaven. Let's see what else is in here. TWSBI. Oh, wow. Whoa, that is beautiful. I don't own any TWSBIs, so this is super exciting. Yeah, so this is the Diamine 580 AL, our piston filling fountain pen. So let's take a look at this pen in a little more detail. So on the finial we have this beautiful navy aluminium, and it has some textural lines on there which I believe are carried through on the section as well. And then we have the finial on top with the lovely TWSBI logo in reflective silver with a resin dome over it, which looks really classy and it's nice and smooth. And then you have the inner cap here, which is kind of an odd choice of color, I think. Let's take it off and have a look. Yeah, so it's kind of this smoky gray. I guess that is to help if it gets dirty, it won't look as dirty maybe, but it already looks dirty. I think it goes okay with the color of this navy, which is this beautiful, vibrant, almost purple leaning navy, which is actually really lovely. But I think if you had other colors, it might not go as well, but I think it's fine for this color. And then when you open it up, you have what looks like maybe a 5 or a 5.5 nib there. This is a medium, which is lovely because I love medium nibs. That's kind of my standard go-to nib. And then it has the TWSBI logo on there, as well as the logo mark, which you can see on the nib. It's a really pretty nib. And then on the section, again, we have this texture, which I think will be really nice. Sometimes metal pens get a bit slick, so having this texture on there I think will improve the grip. It is quite a small section, I think. Similar to, let me just grab one of my other pens that I love writing with. So this is the Jinhao 992, and it has, I think, a very similar sized section, so I think that's going to be really comfortable. It might go in just a little more before the ridge there, but fairly small, so if you have big hands this may be a little small for you. And then as we go down the pen, we have that beautiful, let's just pull the piston. Oh wow, that piston is really smooth. That is gorgeous. And I think that's actually a metal piston action in there. Obviously this is the rubber silicone part, but yeah, that is super smooth. I think on the normal TWSBIs that sort of mechanism is plastic, but I believe on the AL this is metal. And then the actual body of the pen is made out of this really sort of hard, clear plastic. It's beautifully reflective, all the facets on there. I think that's probably why it's called the Diamine 580, because of all the faceted design on there. Yeah, so it's really beautiful. And we have the aluminium trim again in that navy. And then the piston turner is a little different to the Ecos, I believe. I think this is just a sort of a completely symmetrical round turner. There's not a ton of grip on there, but it's still easy to turn, so I don't think we'll have any problem with that. So I think as far as filling it, you can fill it two different ways. I had to go and do some research because I don't own a piston filler, but I think it's just kind of like a giant twist converter in a sense. So I think what you can do is you can undo the section part here and syringe fill it, or you can dip the whole pen in and draw up ink through that. I think I'm going to go with the syringe method today, just to see how that goes. But I think you could actually fill this up with the immersion method, where you put the whole nib into the thing, because this should clean off pretty easily. I'm always worried with my plastic pens because there's so many nooks and crannies in here, especially like the preppies, that the ink gets up inside the section and it just looks really crappy. But this, and it kind of stains the plastic as well, but this is all aluminium, I think. So yeah, I think that wouldn't be a problem. But anyway, I think I'm gonna load it that way. So to fill it up, I'm just going to use one of these little push syringes. These are super handy because you can just operate it with one hand. You don't get a ton of ink in here, and you can, I believe you can actually use this as a little converter. I have never used it, but they're advertised as like a converter syringe, and this all comes apart. If you haven't used one of these before, you can take this metal bit off, and this white piece comes apart too. But you can leave that in, and you can actually put any type of like blunt needle attachment on here, so that will fit on here if you need a really long one. For the platinum or the pilot cartridges tend to be really long, so it's hard to clean them. So I have this, I think this is like a 4-inch syringe attachment, and you can just put that on there, super easy. But for today we just need the one that came with it, which I believe is maybe an inch and a bit. So let's try and fill that. So I'm going to get my little stand. So here's my little stand so that I can put my pieces in it, and it's much easier. So let's take our pen apart. Yeah, so it was a little bit hard to get open, but it just twists here. Ooh, it comes off there. And then you have this little piece here which just comes off, so you don't want to lose that. I'm just gonna, it's not really fixed on there, it's just floating around. So I'm just gonna place this here so I don't lose it. I don't really want to put it upside down in my holder just in case. And then I'm gonna put the pen part in here to hold it steady. Make sure you press it down before you put it in the ink. Pop it in the ink, pull it up. And then I'm just going to put the needle in. So this actually has a little hole there. So you definitely want to be using a syringe that fits in there. So when it goes in. Hey guys, I just wanted to jump in real quick and mention that I made a total rookie mistake when filling this piston filler via syringe. You have to make sure that the piston is fully retracted and sort of locked in the retracted position before you put the ink in with the syringe. If you don't do that, then the little turner at the end becomes really loose, and you will expose the little maintenance area where you can put the little turner in and pull your pen apart. If you're filling it via the draw method, where you're just submerging the whole section into ink and drawing it up, then you want to make sure it's fully extended and open, and then once you fill it, it will close itself because you're retracting it up, so that gap will close and it will be fine. But if you're doing it by syringe, you have to make sure that gap is totally closed before you fill. Okay, thanks. Alright, so I think I managed to fill it correctly this time, but you can see there it's beautiful against the plastic there in the section, and it is a pretty much exact match for this navy of the pen. So that was the Prussian blue that Pen Heaven gave me as well. So that was a perfect choice. So let's see how this writes. Okay, so this is just some Kikuyu campus paper, and I love this paper because it really shows all of the lovely aspects of the ink. And let's try this out. Whoa, that is either a wet ink or a very wet pen. That is beautiful. Look at that color. And that flow is insane. Wow, this pen is very smooth. Wow, that is a super smooth writer, and you hardly have to put any pressure on at all. I'm hardly touching it to the paper and it's just working amazingly. So this ink is the Diamine Prussian blue. That's gorgeous. Yeah, so this is very smooth. Let's I just want to compare it to my, let's try the Kaweco. So this one is my Kaweco Sport, also in an M. I just want to compare it. Oh yeah. So this is also very smooth, but I would say that the TWSBI is a little smoother. Let's also try, while we're at it, this Jinhao 992. Yeah, so I would say that the Diamond is definitely the smoothest writer, and it's quite weighty. It's quite nice to write with. Yeah, and you can definitely kind of feel those little ridges on there. It's not slippery at all. It's really lovely. Let's just write a little bit more. Oh, you can see you can see the paper where my hand has been. I'm not wearing my glove, so it's really resisting it there. I think a lot of fountain pen papers do that. Once you get your hand oils on here, it's just resisting it. I noticed it a little bit actually when I was writing with the Jinhao. But yeah, I think it's just a really smooth, beautiful writer. Wow, and this color, I just love this color. That is a beautiful color. It has some shading in it. It actually lays down super dark. You can see with these hearts here that are still a little bit wet, but when it dries, it's so much lighter and does have a little bit of that sort of Payne's gray feel. Similar, but this is much more gray leaning, but yeah, that is a gorgeous color. Wow, so I am super impressed with this pen. I love it. It definitely feels much more quality than my Kaweco. I think just because of the weight, like it feels so weighty. The Kaweco Sports are very light, as you know, and actually that's why I love them. They're really easy to write with. You don't really get fatigued. But this is just, it feels almost luxurious to write with this. And just the fact that it's so smooth, and I hardly need to put, like I put a lot of pressure on when I write, like I tend to push down quite a lot. But you can literally just touch it to the paper and it's gonna lay down such a wet mark here. And I'm not sure if that's the ink or if that's TWSBI's in general, but it is beautiful. So Pen Heaven, along with the inks and the pen, also sent me this cute little leather pen case. So I can put this special pen in this case and it fits perfectly. Isn't that lovely? So it protects your pen. This is cool if you're just sort of carrying one pen around. It keeps it nice and safe. Yeah, so if you guys want to check out Pen Haven, I will put a link in the description. They're like an online retailer for pens and journals and such. They even do like custom engraving and embossing. I think Crixus actually, I'll put a link in the description to her channel. She actually recently got a beautiful journal with like this air balloon on it that she got embossed with her name on it that looked really sweet. And they have like pretty good prices for Diamine, and their Kaweco prices are really good too. And you can also get like the metal pens, like the Kaweco All Sport, you can get that engraved for personalized gifts and stuff. So thanks everyone for joining me for this wonderful little Pen Heaven haul. I had a great time opening these goodies, and thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!